that we have a seminar series at EMAS, which is run by Center for Indic Studies, and Carol has been speaker there. Have you? We attended Indic Studies. But this series is a little bit different. First of all, of course, this is run not by EMAS, it is run by Institute of Advanced Sciences, where we have a school of Indic Studies. But this seminar series is more for engaging the discussion. It's not, there in the university, you just come and give a lecture, have all kind of people. But here, most people who come to this, they're familiar with the topics. They have their own views. And the idea is to exchange those. And major purpose of that is we want to have this conversation at the deeper level so that we advance the ideas rather than just simply learn about them. And there couldn't be any better topic than what we are going to speak here today. We have had last semester is the one we started, and this semester is full actually. Next month we are going to do on March 5th a Kavi Sammelan. Those who know Hindi, we are going to have it's kind of in celebrating Holi, which is a color festival of color, and so it's poetry reading. And if any one of you is interested, please let me know. We will put your name. Any language is fine. It's not, although there will be a lot of people who will speak in Hindi or some Indian local languages. And in April, we have actually 2 events because last month, because it got snowed out. I was supposed to speak on my experience and observations about my visit to India. And because of that, because of snow, we couldn't do that on 23rd of January. So I have rescheduled it and for April 9th. And since I said that my fresh observations, so I'm going back to India to bring my fresh observations. So I will be gone in March for 2 weeks and will bring my fresh observations again to speak on 9th of April, and then 23rd of April we are going to have a conference, 1 day long conference from 10 to 5 p.m. which is going to be on the language of Ramcharitmanas, which is one of the Ramayana is one of the epics written, and the language is the language that Ramayana is written is called Avadhi, which is related to Ayodhya. And so we will talk about that language and other aspects of Ramayana as well. So we will have, and those of you who are interested in any scholarly presentations, please let us know. And then finally we will have in May a presentation by Dr. Amit Tandon, who is a oceanographer, physical oceanographer, and there is a very unique team working, international US and Indian team is working on monsoon. Monsoon is a beautiful thing that some of you know, and many of the Indian literature and culture and tradition is really around the monsoon. Of course, life is sustained because of monsoon, but also it's very unpredictable. So these scientists are working at that. So he will present both aspects of it, particularly the aspect that how the prediction, unpredictability of monsoon can be improved, and the farmer's life and the maybe consequently cultures will also be improved. So we have full semester seminar engagement and schedule. But if any one of you are interested in engaging this kind of conversation and you have a topic to talk about, please let us know. We are already filling up the the one we making. Yes, so we do make we are recording all these lectures and we make them YouTube and then make them available. So you can always forward to your friends. Some of you already watch and have given me some feedback. So, but in the fall, what I was saying, that we already have a couple of speakers, but anyone who is interested, we will have 4 talks, September, October, November, December, and please feel free to let us know. But like I said, the idea is to engage, to bring in topic where people are a little bit familiar with things, and then they get benefit of your experiences, but also they bring in to have their clarifications. This topic particularly really perfectly fits. TM is so such a practical thing. On the other hand, I was really very surprised when she gave the topic that is the origin in Bhagavad Gita, which normally people think it's just a a text, a philosophy. But philosophy being in practice is a very different, and I think I hope they are going to look forward to listen to you and learn so much more. She is, as I already gave the introduction in writing, she's a very dedicated person. She has spent quite a bit of time not only in Maharishi University and with Maharishi Group and in different countries including France and India, but also she has a degree in education, so she's very interested, and she's a very, very kind person. I've been in touch with her for the last couple of years, and she's a certified TM teacher, and she will talk more about that, how that all works. One story I want to tell you that I did learn TM in 2011. Normally TM, not TM, when I was at UMass or even now, most people who have something to share about Indic related stuff, they normally are very frank and they very openly tell. But the TM people, I came to know them in 2002 when we had Waves conference in UMass, and they always invited me to go to Maharishi University, and I didn't get a chance to go. And finally I went there and I saw everything. They will talk everything about TM, but they will tell you what exactly how to do the TM. They will not tell you that. Not like just conversational wise. You have to really go through a process, because it's very important actually. When I finally went through the process, number one, there is some cost of it involved with it, but number two is that process is very sincere and very dedicated, very committed, and they commit for the whole life. It's not like you got to learn once and gone. You can go and check with anywhere, any teacher, certified teacher, then you can just make an appointment, go, and they have groups of people who do TM. This is a wonderful system, and I'm learning more about it. And just let's begin with Carol. Carol, thank you.
Thank you very much, Balaram. I'm very grateful that Balaram has been inviting me to these talks and is allowing me to speak today. And I am also very grateful to the Vedic tradition of India, because it brought us Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who is the founder of the Transcendental Meditation technique. And he has brought this all over the world, and it has made a great difference to a lot of people, over 6 million people in the world. And for me in my life, it has been a wonderful, it's fulfilled my spiritual aspirations. It's given me a technique to develop myself and be able to just live my religion the way I want to. Even though I'm a Christian, I am doing Transcendental Meditation, and it's something that is good for any person of any religion and any walk of life. And it doesn't require belief. You can have any beliefs, you can be totally skeptical, but it will work. And it not only brings spiritual benefits, but it also brings mental, physical, and social benefits, and it even has an effect on the world. Now, when I first came to the meeting with Balaram, it was in the building in Dartmouth, and he spoke of his recent impressions of India.
That time that was a recent
And he began by, it was a very interesting talk, and he began by talking about all the ways that India and the United States are opposite. We are on opposite sides of the world. When it's day here, it's night there. And the opposites just kept going and going until it involved the culture and the personality of the two countries. And I want to say today, I think that one of the things that Balaram is bringing out is that opposites can learn from each other. And I want to bring out a point which Maharishi teaches in his science. Transcendental meditation is a practical technique. It's a way to sit down and experience deeper and deeper levels of your own thought process, and then to experience the very deepest level of your mind. But there is also a science that goes along with it. Every science has a practical aspect and a theoretical aspect. And the theoretical aspect Maharishi called the science of creative intelligence. And I can explain that a little more later, but I'm back to the opposites. Opposites are found together is one of Maharishi's principles in that course. It's a 33-lesson course. And I also recommend it along with the Tian technique. When opposites are found together, they can strengthen and support each other. If I take this piece of paper and fold it in half, I create two opposite sides that are joined together. Now, when it's this way, I can't do much with it. When I bring the two opposites together, what do I have? I have a structure, and I have something that can stand on its own. So the two opposite sides support each other, and in the end, they're stronger. There is something I want to say about transcendental meditation, in that it brings some key opposites together to create balance and integration in life. One of those opposites is inner and outer. When we sit down and meditate, we close the eyes and we do a simple technique. It's very effortless and natural, and it allows the mind to go within. I am going to use an analogy. This is for inner and outer. And this has to do with the mind. Can everyone see? Whenever we talk about the mind, we like to use an analogy and compare it to the ocean. It's interesting that Maharishi has many analogies, and since I've been coming to these meetings, I've noticed that many of I thought they were unique to Maharishi, but I've noticed that other people are using the same ones. So I think they're very traditional Vedic analogies. And so you may hear some of them tonight. So the ocean has this, well, we can think of this as the outer, the surface of the ocean. And then it has the depth at the bottom. The outer is very active, and the inner is silent. But the activity on the surface of the ocean is supported by the silence at the depth, because it is the depth of the ocean that gives it the ability to have waves. The waves could be 40 feet. But it's because of the depth of the ocean that is able to have that activity. In the case of the mind, most of us experience the mind as being very active. Thoughts come and they just come and come and come. They just never stop, do they? But there is also a deeper level of the mind which is silent. It's more silent. But it's at the very deepest level. Normally in our activity and in our daily life, we experience the surface level. But with the Transcendental Meditation technique, we're going to go within. And this is done in a very effortless way. And we experience what is the deepest level. We call this the field of pure consciousness. Or we also call it the source of thought. By the way, I know that I talked about the Gita first in my title, but I thought that I should explain about Transcendental Meditation first and a little bit about the benefits. And then we will talk about the Gita and the reference of Transcendental Meditation and specifically transcending in the Gita. So, this pure consciousness, source of thought, it's also called the field of creative intelligence, the pure field of creative intelligence. If we look at nature, we know that in nature there's an orderliness and there's an intelligence. There are many innumerable processes going on and growth and things, ecosystems where animals depend on each other and all these things going on in nature. And there is an intelligence that keeps it going in an orderly fashion. And this intelligence is in every person. It's in all of nature, and we are in nature as well, and so it is in us. But the human being has the unique ability to actually experience that creative intelligence, the pure field of creative intelligence within their own mind. And this is done in a very, through transcendental meditation. The way we do this is just in a very effortless and easy way. And when we experience this, then we are able to use our full potential. You know, they say that most people only use a small portion of their full potential. And I know that's certainly the way I felt before I started meditating. And that's one of the reasons I started, because I felt there was something more that I was lacking. And so I began TM. And because of this use of full potential, the mind begins to show more intelligence, more clarity of thinking. Students do better in school. It's easier to study. It's easier to focus and concentrate. And often grade point averages improve. This is a sampling of the research that's been done on TM. There have been over 700 studies on the benefits of TM, And more than half of them have been published in scientific journals. There's also an increase in creativity and just in more use of one's inner potential with the mental, intellectual potential. And also what has been found in individuals meditating is that the brain shows a unique brainwave pattern. And it's the alpha, it's high frequency alpha waves that are experienced. There are many different types of meditation. Every meditation has its own brainwave pattern. And the brainwave pattern of transcendental meditation shows that the mind is actually increasing in alertness, even though there's a restfulness. And the body shows restfulness. So this is a unique state of consciousness. We call it restful alertness. The body is very rested, and the mind is actually increased in alertness. And people who meditate, they experience a restfulness that has an awareness with it. You're aware of sounds around you and the different whatever's going on around you, you can hear it. But at the same time, you're very, very deeply rested. And in some ways, it's even deeper than sleep. This brings us to, so that's another opposite. Restfulness and alertness together. That is found in TM. That brings us to the benefits for the body. When we meditate, not only does the mind gain that expansion and experiencing the depth of the mind, but that deep, deep rest has an effect on the body. We know that whenever we get deep rest, the body heals itself. And it purifies itself of stress. This is a major reason why people like to learn TM, is for the health benefits. And when we get that deep rest and we release stress, then there are many benefits to the body. The research that's been done is very extensive, and I can show you, we can talk about some of it here. First, on this diagram, we see that there's a decrease during transcendental meditation. There's a decrease in the stress hormone in the body, in the blood system, which is called plasma cortisol. This study is interesting because they were comparing a person meditating through transcendental meditation with someone who was just sitting with their eyes closed. And I know that some people say, well, I can do that. If I just sit twice a day for 20 minutes and just close my eyes, I'm going to get a deep rest. And but this here shows that the rest is much deeper. There's much greater decrease in plasma cortisol. So we said that this rest results in improved health. And we can see that in these other studies. Reduced cholesterol, there's better functioning of the physiology, and so that there's reduced cholesterol, decreased anxiety, decreased need for cigarettes, alcohol, and drug abuse, and lower hospital admissions, and lower blood pressure. This is a major study which has had a big effect on the acceptance of TM in the medical community. At the time of this study, I've had these charts for a while. This was a 3-month interval that was being measured. And TM again was compared to different techniques. One is the usual care of education, change in diet. And the second one was progressive muscle relaxation, another form of relaxing the body. And then TM. And as you can see in this diagram, over the 3-month period, there was a much greater effect in transcendental meditation. This particular study was continued over a 9-year period, so that the scientists were able to measure other factors, which included stroke, heart attack, and death in that time. And what was found was that there was a 48% decrease in the meditating group as compared to the control group. This left an impression on the American Medical Association, and they came out with a statement saying that transcendental meditation could be used by doctors, prescribed by doctors for the treatment of hypertension. And this was a big milestone in our acceptance in the medical community. Are there any questions so far? So this is the second area of benefit, because really when we contact that deepest level of our own self, it benefits every area of life. It's like, another analogy that Maharishi uses is the tree. If you want to bring nourishment to a tree, you water the root. And consciousness, the self, is the root of all of life for the individual. And so by meditating through transcendental meditation, we dive within, experience that within ourselves, and then it's nourishing all aspects of the outer life. The inner nourishes the outer. And then there's benefits to the mind, the body, and also the relationships, our ability to relate to other people. When we are at home within ourselves, then we have more to offer in our relationships. And more, what grows is appreciation. We have more appreciation within us, and that grows to the outer. And this is bringing me to a shorter video. Do you think we could play it at this point? A shorter one? This is a recent video that was made showing different people who experienced the results of TM. And I like it because it shows the social benefit and the benefit within families and how they relate to each other. And so I thought it would be nice to play this.
Oh, I turn off the whole thing. Is that better? Did I take off the power there?
Turn off the
Oh,
projector also.